What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today I want to talk about the Karuak Ceremony, which is now live on my kingdom. Now, the Karuak Ceremony is something that came to us in this latest patch, and it is a good way of picking up legendary sculptures that can be assigned to any of your legendary commanders. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't had an opportunity to really say that I am a master of this event at this point. In fact, what I want to offer here is some initial impressions and some advice on how to get you started on this event on the right foot. And in a later video, I will do a strategy guide for how you master this event. So, with that said, let's get started by reviewing some of the basics for this event. It is a 3-day event. And although I have already selected a difficulty mode, which you can see over here, I'm doing this event on easy. Uh, Everyone has to start with that difficulty, and you unlock higher and higher difficulties. Now, I wish I had taken a screenshot of one of the original screens, but it is my understanding that you need to beat the highest level of easy difficulty before you can advance to the next tier, and there are 6 or so different tiers. If we go into the event information, we can see a little bit about the rules for the event, and these are really important to actually read before you get started. The first rule is that you choose a difficulty, and that difficulty lasts for the entire duration of the event. So to me, this says that, by the way, this event is coming back over and over again. Next up, you launch attacks or rally attacks against a target that becomes increasingly difficult to battle. And I'll show you a little bit of that in just a minute. And you can ask for your allies to come and help you, but it uses up a token that you only get a handful of, so you should use those wisely. Now, if the rally attack is launched to complete a challenge, additional reinforcements cannot be sent after the rallied army has departed. Governors who help their allies can potentially be rewarded with a mark of Karuak. With that said, it looks like the possibility of receiving that sort of an item is really, really low. At the start of the ceremony, you only get 5 of these marks of Karuak, and they all disappear at the end of the round. So at the end of the 3 days, if you have some that are unused, they're going away. You can't save them up for next time. And at the conclusion of the ceremony, you receive a treasure corresponding to the highest level challenge that you completed. So now if we get back at the event details here, there's a bunch of things that you notice right away. First of all, it takes action points to summon a challenger. And I am currently looking at the individual portion of this event, where, as it mentioned in the rules, there's a treasure that gets stronger and stronger. Now, in order to even be able to do this video and be somewhat competent about what is going on in this event, I took a stab at some of the earlier levels, but every time you beat one of these challengers that you summon, the level goes up 1. And at the very, very end, level 100, is where you can get one of these legendary commander sculptures. And worth mentioning, like, look, this is the easiest difficulty. I imagine that these prizes ramp up as you get into the higher difficulties of this event. Now, not only does it cost 50 action points to summon a challenger, but then you have to expend action points to go battle it. So this is a very action point heavy event. Now, if we look and tap into the Help Us button, I was a little afraid to press it because I thought maybe this is going to use up one of my tokens. It doesn't. No worries there. When you tap into it, it shows you how your alliance is doing and where each of the individual members of your alliance is, at least all the participating members. And you can see that some of the members of my alliance have gotten really, really far and have started to launch rally attacks, which is pretty exciting. All the way at the bottom end of things, here I am. To get to this point, I burned basically my entire action point bar once. And we'll probably use a few potions to illustrate how this works today. Now, if we take a look over at the Alliance tab, after some number of Alliance members have beaten a certain level of challenge, you can summon basically like a raid boss. And uh, you probably have to do a rally attack, or you get a bunch of people to attack it all at once. We honestly don't have a lot of information on how exactly that will work, so we can only speculate. What I do see here is that the difficulty ramps up and the rewards get better and better as we look at higher and higher levels of raid boss that you can go and summon. And these are probably going to be some really end game events. If you look at the reward here, a 3-day speed up is a pretty hefty reward. Now, with that said, going all the way back to the level that everyone is going to start at here, we need at least 15 alliance members to complete challenge level 30 on normal difficulty or higher. So normal difficulty is not even available to us yet. So this raid will not even be available until the next round of the event. So the thing you need to focus on is your individual score and getting a really nice treasure and hopefully unlocking the next tier of the event. Now, we don't know exactly how difficult the upper end of these events are, but I'll say this. If my alliance member, who's all the way at the top here, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Zilong, if he needs to be summoning these guys and using raid support, which he did, and he's got tier 4 troops unlocked, it means that they're pretty darn tough. Now, with that said, I hope to have a lot more information about the details here in a strategy guide that I'll be putting together for how to master this event. For now, let me just show you what happens when you summon an Odell and go to battle it. So I'm going to hit challenge. It uses up 50 of my action points. It doesn't matter if you have an action point reduction talent because it's not related to a specific commander. It is 50 base to go and summon him. Now, if I tap into it, no one else can go battle it, and you can see it only lasts for 2 hours. Now I can summon help, or I can launch a rally. I'm not sure what the difference is between help and rally. Oh, you can see a second ago it just said Zilong is launching a rally attack against one of the odells here. I don't know if launching a rally attack will actually use one of these tokens. It might not. It could be that what the help option is doing is enabling someone else from your alliance to launch the rally attack, which is meaningful if someone else has a larger castle than you and can rally a larger number of troops than you can. And if you need that support, it's pretty cool that that option is there for you. I'm just going to do a basic attack here. I'm going to select new troops, and this is the squad I've been using for battling barbarians and barbarian huts in most cases, Lohar and Minamoto. And in this case, you can see here, it's going to take another 40 action points, so 90 total to go and do this battle here. But the action point reduction talents are working. So normally it would have been 50 and 50 again. So I'm going to go battle here. My troops are going to march out, and this fight's going to be tremendously easy. Now, one of the strategies that I sort of figured out that you can really save a lot of action points doing this is if the Odell is a little further away from your base, and I wasn't able to pull this off here because it's literally right in front of my base, but when the Odell is a little bit further away, you can tell your troops to stop afterwards. You push the little camp button. I tried to do it, but they were literally right outside my town, so it didn't work. But if you push that icon, they're going to camp, and the next battle is going to be lower action points to do. And so in these earlier tiers, what you want to do is battle repeatedly. Don't let your troops get back into town. Don't let your troops get back into town, because then the action point cost is going to go back up to 40. So for these easy battles, you want to stay out there for a while, battle repeatedly, and that way you save 10 action points around, which is pretty darn good because this is a really action point intensive event. So my friends, I hope that this summary is helpful. Again, this is really initial impressions and reactions from what I have seen in the Rise of Civilizations Discord. This event is not actually available to everybody yet, which is kind of interesting. I hope to have a whole heck of a lot more information available to you, but wanted to get this guide out right away. If you've got advice, guidance, comments, I would love to see them. Please do place a comment on this video. And until next time, my friends, your likes, shares, and subscribes mean a lot as a new content creator. Otherwise, have fun smashing the kingdom.